My thoughts, my opinion. Sports podcast.
Yo, what it is? Welcome back to another episode of MTMO Sports Podcast, Doug's. Yo, I miss y'all guys, man. I hope y'all enjoyed the last episode with Mr. Eugene Campbell, man. My 105th thought, man. I swear that was a dope interview, man. Go check it out if y'all have not already. You feel me? But we are here at 106. You feel me? My 106th thought. Yo, in this episode is gonna be dope, just like I always give y'all that dope content. You feel me? Because yo, this episode I'm gonna be talking about the Jets finally got their new quarterback. You feel me? And I'm going to try to place him where he ranked in the AFC. You feel me? The Bucks got rid of their head coach. It's like, ooh, what was they thinking? But you know what I mean? I'm gonna give y'all my opinion on that and who I feel should have that job upcoming now. And of course, I have to give y'all the NBA playoff update because that one team nobody believed in made it to the Western Conference Finals. You feel me? But enough of all that chitty chat, man. Let's get straight into it. All right. The New York Jets had their new quarterback. Can't really say new. It's like a used car in my opinion. You feel me?
I like your funny words, Magic Man.
But, you know, it's new to them and it's new to the AFC. You feel me? The Jets went out there and finally got Aaron Rodgers. You know what I mean? And let's talk about that a little bit. You know what I mean? Because I'm not fully invested, not fully into it. You know what I mean? Because don't get me wrong. Is Aaron Rodgers a good quarterback? Yes. Is Aaron Rodgers a Hall of Fame quarterback? Yes. Multiple time MVP? Yes. You know what I mean? You got your Super Bowl underneath his belt. It's like Aaron Rodgers has everything that a quarterback would dream about. You know what I mean? And right now, I'm just not really sold that the Jets are a Super Bowl team now. Just because they got Aaron Rodgers, the baddest man in the offseason. I mean, during the regular season, my bad. The baddest man in the regular season. But I still don't believe in the Jets. But let's see how they got here. Now, the Jets got Aaron Rodgers, and they also got the first round 15th pick of the 2023 and the 5th round pick of 2023. You know, okay. They exchanged first rounds pretty much because the Packers went on here and got the first round of 2023, which was the 13th pick this year. They got a second round, which was the 42 pick. And they also got a 6th round pick. And then they also that 6th round can move up to a first round, you feel me, if Rodgers plays 65% of his snaps. And I think the Packers will, and the Jets will make out good on that deal, in my opinion. I see Aaron Rodgers playing 65% of the snaps this year. Matter of fact, I see Aaron Rodgers playing 100% of the snaps this year, in my opinion. I think the Jets went all in with Aaron Rodgers. They figured it was like, if this is time to win, this is the time now. Now, I'm not a big fan of renting these one-year quarterbacks because I believe that's what Aaron Rodgers is really going to give us, a 1 year. You know, if the Jets wanted that headache, because the Packers was done with that headache. The Packers was tired of going back and forth with them, tired of every offseason that Aaron Rodgers wants to go in his hiatus. He lies about taking the vaccine, and he just like untrustworthy. And the Packers, in my opinion, were just like, we are done with this. It's time to move on. It is time to not deal with this guy no more. It is time to go ahead and shop this guy on Craigslist.
I like your funny words, Magic Man.
Because honestly, it's not like you went to a dealership and got a new car for the Jets. You know what I mean? So, but you know what I mean. Even with this used car, I believe it can get you to A to B, A to C. Maybe it can get you down to the later in the alphabets. I don't know about Z because that's the promised land of them making a Super Bowl. But I also think I think that Aaron Rodgers can get the Jets into the playoffs. Now, I believe that Aaron Rodgers had came from the NFC, which it is not as deep as quarterback play, in my opinion. You know what I mean? You got some good quarterbacks over there. But now you're coming to the AFC, where there is a bunch load of quarterbacks. A lot of quarterbacks that it is hard to figure out who is really the top quarterback in the AFC. Of course, it's given to Pat Mahomes. Of course. And you know, maybe he just won a Super Bowl. He won multiple Super Bowls already. If I'm not mistaken, he is the only quarterback in the AFC right now that has won multiple Super Bowls in the last couple of years. So it's safe to say that Pat Mahomes is sitting on top. And of course, I'm going to be biased. I'm going to be that guy. LJ is number 2. You know what I mean? I'm pretty sure a lot of people going to go back and forth like, oh, how the hell Lamar number 2? Listen to the word I said. I said me being biased. You feel me? But no, on it for real though. I just think that Aaron Rodgers has a lot of quarterbacks. That's gonna be competing to see who's the top quarterback in the AFC, in my opinion. Because you can just go. Let's start off with the AFC East in their own division. You have Josh Allen, baddest man. You know what I mean? Arguably number 2 quarterback in the AFC, in my opinion. Arguably. But in my argument, of course, I'm not going to put him over top of LJ right now. But you still got Josh Allen. You got Tua. Now, I understand like Tua ain't that guy and people is still sleeping on him. And he's also second guessing himself whether is he ready for retirement or not. So, you know, but you still got Tua over there. Who else is in that division, man? And then you still got Mac Jones. Now, I understand that Tua and Mac Jones, that list gets a little, it drops. it just really drops in my opinion. But that's 3 good quarterbacks, at least 2 decent quarterbacks that's in that division. Then you come to the AFC North. You have your Lamar Jackson, you have your Joe Burrow, you have you got Pickett, which you know, I'm not really sold on him yet. I think Pittsburgh still has some more growing and mature with this quarterback. And then you also have Deshaun Watson, who is now coming back to a 4 year of an offseason. You feel me? So that's another 3 quarterbacks. You know what I mean? Most definitely top 2 quarterbacks that's in the AFC North that still can give Aaron Rodgers some problems. Then we go ahead to the AFC West now. We still got Pat Mahomes, as I already claimed that, in my opinion, he's number 1 in the AFC. Then you got Justin Herbert. Then you got Russell Wilson. And then, you know, I forgot who Las Vegas, that quarterback, Jimmy Garoppolo. Not too much of a hype, but still a winning quarterback. He was still able to take the 49ers when he had the chance to into the playoffs, deep into the playoffs also. So we still got a little question mark around the Raiders, but you still got Pat Mahomes and Justin Herbert. Where else can I go with? It's just like you can almost. It's just a lot of quarterbacks, in my opinion. That's going to give Aaron Rodgers pretty much a run for his money in that AFC quarterback land. Now, let's talk about where the Jets may be ranked this year, in my opinion, in the AFC East and in the AFC total. But in the AFC East, they will be battling, in my opinion, for second place. Depending on how the Dolphins protect Tua and Tua can stay healthy, I think that's where the Jets are going to have to wait and see and figure out is the Dolphins better than the Jets, or is the Jets better than the Dolphins? Now, you still got Tyreek Hill, you got Waddle for Tua. But now when you think about Aaron Rodgers, you got Lazard, you got Gryd Allen, and you have a lot of young wide receivers, in my opinion. And you bring back Randall Cobb. Now I understand that Randall Cobb is like Robin to Aaron Rodgers' Batman. You feel me? But at the same time, it's Randall Cobb. I don't believe Randall Cobb has 1,000-yard receiving in the last 5 years. So we not really banking on him. Can it be trustworthy, a safety blanket for Aaron Rodgers? Yes, I can see that. But anything more from Randall Cobb, I don't see it. You know what I mean? And that's where I think the Jets really didn't really upgrade, in my opinion. I think that Aaron Rodgers leaving the Packers, going to the Jets, is almost in the same similarities as having the same wide receivers that's in Green Bay. You know what I mean? I understand the Jets' names probably sound a little bit more pretty and more sexier, more attractive, you feel me? But at the same time, man, I still believe that the Jets wide receivers are just the same as the Green Bay Packers, in my opinion. You know what I mean? So with all that, like I said, I don't really see them going over the top of the Bills. The Bills, I believe the Bills just get a running back and can protect Josh Allen just a little bit longer and make sure that Josh Allen is not doing everything, because that's where the Bills is falling at. They let Josh Allen do everything. They have to find a formula where Josh Allen can still be your guy, but doesn't have to do everything. So once the Bills can figure that out and find a decent running back, somebody that can hit the holes 20 plus times, can almost guarantee you 100 yards a game. If the Bills can do something like that, they solidified the top of the AFC East. They still over top of everybody else, but it will be a landslide. But we still will have to see, can the Bills do that? But as far as the Jets, man, they coming back. They having Bryce Hall coming back, or Breece Hall. I believe it's Bryce Hall coming back as a running back, coming back from the ACL injury. But it's coming back off an ACL injury. We already seen how J.K. Dobbins and Gus Edwards did not look fully strong coming back at the ACL injury. But, different man, different body, different results sometimes, you feel me? So we most definitely can wait and see how that's going to play out for him. But the one thing I can give the Jets that Aaron Rodgers didn't really have in Green Bay is they have a better defense. That's one thing I can most definitely say that the Jets have over the Packers, and it will help Aaron Rodgers out a little bit this year. There's their defense. That defense, in my opinion, is probably a top 10 defense this year. Coming from last year to come into this year, they're going to be a top 10. They made some noise. The only thing that was holding the Jets back last year was a quarterback. You know what I mean? With Zach Wilson not being the guy that they drafted, and then it's Derek White being the backup who was trying to save them, who's now is gone, had left the Jets. It's like now you have Zach Wilson as your backup. Hopefully he can learn from Aaron Rodgers. Hopefully Aaron Rodgers is willing to actually show him how to be a good quarterback, because Zach Wilson was just terrible last year. He was terrible in the media. He was terrible in the games. He was just he was giving off that Baker Mayfield-ish attitude. You know what I mean? We all seen how Baker Mayfield was in the beginning of his career. Showed that he can be that guy, but then after a while, the inconsistency, the piss poor attitude, it just did not work for Baker Mayfield, and it wasn't working for Zach Wilson last year. That's why the Jets was like, we can kind of move on from him. We can still keep him because, yes, he's still under that rookie contract, but at the same time, it's time to kind of slightly move on to kind of make him mature a little bit sooner than later. Pretty much. That's how I think the Jets is doing. Because the Jets pretty much Baker Mayfield, Zach Wilson for real. Bringing in a new quarterback that's pretty much established, known in the NFL. We already know that Aaron Rodgers is known. He established. He's a MVP, a former MVP, multiple MVPs if I'm not mistaken. And Aaron Rodgers most definitely can get that job done. Because like I said, that defense is most definitely is going to help him. He's going to it maybe at times save the Jets at times. You feel me? So as far as they're in their division, I think they can be a number 2 team in that AFC East. Like I said, it all depends on how the Dolphins and how they protect Tua. Because like I said, the Dolphins came out hot last year. It was just the end of the season where the Dolphins was 1-5, 1-6 going out the season, going into the playoffs. So if the Jets can most definitely stay consistent, which I believe they will get 65% of consistency out of the Aaron Rodgers trade, they can most definitely be a number 2 team in the East, in the AFC East. Now, as far as in the whole AFC, they're gonna have to get bumped down some. I believe they can maybe be 17 going into the playoffs. They can be that fifth seeded team, in my opinion. Because, like I said, I don't have them winning that division, but I do have them just barely not winning that division, in my opinion. I can see them not winning the division. They probably lose to the Bills, probably about 2 to 3 games. I can really kind of live with. I can see them losing 2 games to the Bills also. But far as in the AFC, man, I'm gonna put them in I will put them in top 5 this year, making the playoffs this year. I think they're gonna make some noise because, like I said, that defense real stout, and they have a decent quarterback in Aaron Rodgers. So yeah, I can see. But let's talk about Aaron Rodgers real quick and where is he ranked before I go on to the next topic. And where is he ranked in the AFC? As quarterback, just like the Jets, I think I can rank Aaron Rodgers. We can rank him in the top 10. We can most definitely put him in the top 10. To narrow it down just a little bit more, I think Aaron Rodgers is now probably the 5th best quarterback in the AFC. Something in that nature, just like their playoff prediction. Number 5. I think number 5 is going to be that lucky number throughout the whole year, you feel me? But I think that puts him 5th best quarterback in the AFC. Of course, like I said, Pat Mahomes, Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, Joe Burrow. And then you can put Aaron Rodgers, Justin Herbert, Russell Wilson. You know what I mean? That I believe that's how that list to me will go. And it should be how it goes, in my opinion. Like I said, Aaron Rodgers is a bad man. He's a bad man in that regular season. But it's just like, how long can that bad man be the bad man? You feel me? Because like I said, Father Time, it's undefeated. When he's on you, he's on you. When he feel like you can be caught, you will be caught. You feel me? So that's just one thing. I need to see how Aaron Rodgers and Father Time, how they act this year. I need to see Aaron Rodgers is already in camp, throwing to his wide receivers and all that good stuff. So they already getting the chemistry rolling. We just need to see how the chemistry is going to continue to roll throughout the rest of the camp, going into OTAs, starting the season, stuff like that, man. And like I said, as far as Aaron Rodgers being ranked last year in yards, and this is him being compared to the AFC. Last year he was ranked in yards. He was 11. He was ranked the 11th as in yards and quarterback. 5 of those quarterbacks were AFC quarterbacks. You had your Pat Mahomes. You had your Justin Herbert. You had Joe Burrow. You had Josh Allen. And you had the uprising star of the Jacksonville Jaguars quarterback, Trevor Lawrence. All of them had more yards than Aaron Rodgers last year. And it's like, woo, gives you something to think about, man. It's just like now, like I said in the beginning, you coming into a conference where it is nothing but good quarterbacks. It's going to be hard. You cannot just say that I did this in the NFC and I belongs on top of the AFC. No, dog. That's not how that's going to go. You feel me? And I'm pretty sure the AFC is not going to let that go. And I'm pretty sure it's going to probably, you can add another name. If Lamar Jackson, the way he's talking about he wants to throw for 6,000 yards, fingers crossed, that, yeah, it's like now you will be number 6 quarterback. And if Deshaun Watson can, it's just like a lot of different quarterbacks can catch Aaron Rodgers in the yards and probably will surpass Aaron Rodgers in the yards. But, time will tell and we will see. But, shout out to the Jets for landing that quarterback for this year. It ain't the quarterback in the future and none of that. You doing what the Indianapolis coach was doing the last couple of years, running quarterbacks. But not going to hate. We will, like I said, I believe that Aaron Rodgers can be that guy and is that guy. but I just don't see them going to the Super Bowl or anything in that nature. So, shout out to the New York Jets for signing Aaron Rodgers. We're trading for Aaron Rodgers and bringing in a top tier quarterback. And we shall see of what type of moves or what type of shape they will do in the season, man. But not for Aaron Rodgers, man. Let's switch it to the NBA a little bit, man. And let's switch it over to the guys that support Aaron Rodgers' old team and the Milwaukee Bucks and how they fired their coach, Budenholzer.
Let's go.
All right, man. Coach Mike. Let's just say that. Bud Budenholzer. I believe that's his name. I'm pretty sure I'm messing his name up, but my bad. But the Bucks fired their head coach, man, after 5 seasons. 5 seasons. And in those 5 seasons, he's won 391 games. I mean, he coached 391 games. He won 271. He lost 120. And he's a 69% winning coach. He was the 2021 NBA champion coach. He was a 2-time coach of the year. He was a 2-time All-Star coach. And he also led the league. He also, my bad, y'all, because it kind of bothered me to see this man get fired. But he also helped Giannis of getting the league MVP and a Finals MVP. And the Bucks was like, you know what? We're done with you. We're gonna go ahead and part ways. You didn't get to the championship in the last 2 years since you made it. And I think that just it sucks. It sucks. You know what I mean? And I feel like Budenholzer was a great coach. And I felt like he helped establish the identity for the Milwaukee Bucks. Now I understand that Jason Kidd kind of started it because Jason Kidd was the guy that drafted Giannis, drafted Middleton, if I'm not mistaken, also. And he was able to plant the seed and watch, and as Mike came in and watch it grow and flourish and nurtured it. And he gave Milwaukee a low market team, a place where the big markets, and he was battling against the big markets. He was battling against the Warriors, the Lakers, the Celtics, the Heat, and all the rest of these big name organizations that won multiple championships, has been to the playoff multiple times and understand what it takes to win. And when they brought in Budenholzer, man, I cannot get his name right. And I'm so sorry, man. I feel like this episode is like a blooper. You feel me? I'm just gonna say Coach Mike. We're gonna just call him Coach Mike right now because I can't get his name right. But Coach Mike, they bring him in, and like I said, he established our identity for the Milwaukee Bucks. He gave Milwaukee Bucks like a way better chance of going deep into the season and going to the playoffs. Like I said, he developed that good culture down there. Now, I understand it was some help. You know what I mean? With good coaching, it has to be with great players. You know what I mean? And with those great players that he was able to connect with and build around and everything, he did his job. I don't see why he got fired. You know what I mean? All of the Dutch show, man. I'm not understanding why did he get fired. You know what I mean? I think the Bucks pulled the trigger too fast on this. I think the Bucks was crazy to actually let him go. I think that he still had some time to show that he was able to still be a top coach, in my opinion. I think he still had time to show that he was able to get the Bucks back into a championship contention, because you gotta sit here and think, man, Giannis was hurt majority of the season to tail end of the season and the beginning of the playoffs. So when you don't have your star, things get a little shaky, things get rough. Now, when you don't have your second star and Chris Middleton, because Chris Middleton, man, I understand he was battling coming back from injury, but Chris Middleton was not Chris Middleton this year. He was not a top 2 guard or a top guard in this league this year, in my opinion. I feel like Chris Middleton took a step back after that championship run. And like I said, it was due to injury. Yes, I totally understand. I totally can comprehend that. But I feel like Chris Middleton didn't take that extra leap to help Giannis, to be Robin to Batman or anything in that nature. I felt like Drew Holiday was more of Robin. Drew Holiday was the guy who played both ends of the ball. He played one hell of a defense, and he came down with clutch plays as at the end of the games, during the games, or whatever. I felt like Drew Holiday was more of the second star in Milwaukee. And no disrespect to Drew Holiday, but I just think that should have been Chris Middleton. Chris Middleton should have been that guy. I think Chris Middleton has a better offensive flow than Drew Holiday. I think Chris Middleton should have been mentioned as a top guard this year or in his career period. But as we always keep having these conversations about Chris Middleton, man, it's like, where do we place him? We most definitely can't place him in the top 5. And it's like we scratching our heads putting him in the top 10. You feel me? And I'm not going to say it was all because of coaching. This was players not executing, in my opinion. This was players not living up to the standard of what the expectations was. Giannis, the Bucks suffer what the Buffalo Bills and the NFL suffer. You let one guy do everything, and you just can't just have one guy doing everything. You can't have him being your leading scorer, your leading rebounder, your leading blocker, your leading. You just can't have that in the NBA. That shows that your team is not construction right. So we can't just blame it all on coaching either. You know what I mean? We will most definitely going to have to blame it on some of the GM and some of the players. You know what I mean? And I think less of the players and less of the coach and more to the GM, because the GM didn't put a better team around the Bucks, or didn't get the Bucks a better team. You gave the Bucks the same exact team for the last 3 years since you won that championship. So it was like, what you expect that was going to happen. I just think they just put too much on Giannis. And then with Coach Mike, man, he was also having family trauma. I was also reading that he had a death in the family that he was dealing with throughout the playoffs. And I'm pretty sure he mentally was not there. He was there physically. You know, he showed up. He didn't take no games off or anything in that nature. He showed up and did his job. But I'm pretty sure mentally he was not there. He wasn't fully into it, man. Because the Bucks wasn't making in-game adjustments. The Bucks just looked a little flat. They didn't look like how they normally would look, in my opinion. So I don't think it was fully the coaching staff fault, or at least Coach Mike. It wasn't his fault, you know what I mean? And I just think that he got a raw deal, got the raw end of the stick, man, and that sucks. You feel me? You know what I mean? It's just like, if you're not mentally here, you're not mentally, you know what I mean? You could at least say, hey, man, we're going to take a break. You know, we're going to give you some time off. We're going to let you try to figure out if coaching is still in your repertoire. Do you feel like coaching? Is you mentally able to coach or anything in that nature? I just felt like the Bucks were just like, yeah, you know what? You didn't do our job. You didn't, you know, I understand it's a job that you have to do. I totally get it. But I just felt like the Bucks were just like, yeah, it doesn't matter. You know what I mean? Your family problems, you go handle it now. You know what I mean? This is we ain't worrying about the family. We worrying about winning the championship, and you wasn't able to deliver this year or the previous year. You know, so sucks. But you know what I mean, where there's dark in somebody else's tunnel, maybe that's might be the light in somebody else. You know what I mean? Now that this coaching spot is vacant, who do I feel should have that job or should be considered? I'm not going to say have that job, but who should interview and really be considered deeply into actually being this next head coach for the Milwaukee Bucks? In my opinion, I think Sam Cassell should be a next head coach in this league, man. reason why I think Sam Cassell should be a head coach. Number one, I believe he paid his time, his dues as an assistant head coach in the league, even following behind Doc for the last couple of years. And I think that it's time for him to actually build his own identity, to build his resume, to show that he is a good coach in this league. And I think Sam Cassell will fit perfect for the Milwaukee Bucks. Number one, he used to be a Milwaukee Buck back in the day. So he already has that identity. He knows what it's like being in Milwaukee. And now that you can actually bring him back into it, he would know what type of culture it is. Number two, I believe he's that coach that can thrive and actually push his players to the max. I'm not saying that Coach Mike didn't push his players to the max, but I believe that Sam Cassell can relate more because he played in the league. He knows what it's like to be in the league. He knows what it's like to be a player in this league. You know what I mean? Sam Cassell wasn't the best point guard that ever walked across this floor, but Sam Cassell was a decent enough point guard to actually play in this league for multiple years. And he knows what it was like to play in different teams, different scenarios, different situations. So I just think that Sam Cassell is more of a good fit for Milwaukee. And like I said, he has that tough, that grit, that old style coaching that I believe that also can fit with the new generation. You know what I mean? Because I don't know if y'all ever seen the video clip of him and James Harden when he was coaching James Harden and he was telling James Harden he was doing this wrong. He was stern about it. He was, even though James Harden was like, look, I'm doing everything that you want me to do, but Sam Cassell was like, no, you're not. You're emulating what I want you to do, but you're not doing exactly what I want you to do. You know what I mean? He has some few other choice words in there. You know, I'm not going to really say right now, but he most definitely has some other few choice words. But I just believe that Sam Cassell is that guy that can actually help the Bucks out and give them an identity, and the Bucks won't be taking too far of a step back, losing the head coach now. You know what I mean? That's just my opinion. You feel me? You know, I just believe that Sam Cassell is up for his due. Sam Cassell should be mentioned. I'm pretty sure a lot of people keep saying like Mark Jackson, and I'm not against Mark Jackson or any of these other head coaches that's out there. I just solely believe that Sam Cassell should be mentioned in some of these coaching jobs, man. Should be. You know what I mean? So that's all I have right there on the Bucks situation, man. And I wish the Milwaukee Bucks nothing but the best of them searching for their next head coach, and hopefully they can bring in the right fit for them, man. Because that's all it's going. This what it's going to take: the right fit, the right culture, the right identity. You already have your MVP and Giannis. You have a good team already. I think you still need to add just a couple more pieces, man. And I think Milwaukee still doesn't matter who their head coach will be, other than unless he's a straight idiot. I think Milwaukee will be back in the playoffs and will be fighting to be in the championship next year. But while we on the subject of NBA and playoffs and championship, let me give y'all this playoff update. So let's get straight into it.
Let's go.
Oh man. Let me tell y'all right now, this NBA playoffs has been different, has been a little exciting, and we haven't really had this excitement in the playoffs for a nice little minute now. There has been a couple series has been, okay, you know what I mean, but it is just like now, this year, this playoffs, it was more physical. It was more entertainment. It was more competitive, and you didn't know which way teams or which way these series was going to go, man. And it was a lot of teams. Well, not a lot of teams, but it was some teams I was like, dang, you need to.
What the fuck you doing here? Identify yourself. Who the fuck are you?
and that's exactly how I feel, man. And some of these teams wasn't able to show identity. The Cavs was one of the teams. Was like, what happened? I'm not understanding. Like, what happened? I thought you can beat the Knicks. I chose you to beat the Knicks, but you didn't. You know what I mean? We all thought that. You know what? Let's talk about some of these series. We have one series left right now as we speak. It's two teams trying to figure out who can make the East Conference Championship, man. And that's the Celtics and the 76ers right now. The series is tied 3-3. And this series has been interesting, as I can say. You know what I mean? Because a lot of teams and a lot of people chose Boston to dominate this series. And no disrespect to the Boston Celtics fan. I had y'all going to this championship, but I had my questions. I had my doubts. And my man Kurt, I hope you are watching this. Because he was getting on me, coming back and forth like, yo, why are you keep picking on my Celtics? Why every time I click on your Instagram page, you keep asking people if the Celtics in trouble? This is why I'm saying that the Celtics is in trouble. It's in trouble. You had control of this. You had control of this series. You, in my opinion, had the better team. You got your Jason Tatum. You got your Jaylen Brown. You have your Malcolm Brogdon. You have your Marcus Smart. You have, oh man, it's just like a whole list of people that Boston had. Boston, to me, has death over Philly. Now, Philly, of course, you got your Embiid, your MVP. You got your James Harden, former MVP, and you know, I mean, it's kind of showing up here and there, give you a little bit of flashes of what he used to do. And then after you get done talking to them, it's like question marks. I understand we got Maxey, but Maxey, he's inconsistent. PJ Tucker, Shea Milton, and it's just like each time we keep saying different names. Tobias Harris, who's the most disappointing player right now, dog. Sometimes, man, when I see him play, man, I just be.
I cannot see. I'm legally blind.
Because, man, he is frustrating at times, man. Because at times, man, I just want to say like Tobias Harris can be that guy, man. But every time he plays, I just got to say this.
You're not that guy, pal. Trust me. You're not that guy.
And I hate to say that, man, because Tobias Harris has every attribute that a player would want, man. He got the size. He has the good shooting touch. He got the shooting form. It's just like when Tobias Harris out there, man, it's just like him and PJ Tucker play the same type, man. The same way. You just out there for cardio at times, man. But as far as the Sixers, man, and the Celtics, the only way I'm gonna give you how both teams can win this game 7. For the Celtics, the only way that the Celtics will beat the Sixers, and let me get up close on this. Let me get up close. Let me get up on the mic and let me get up on the camera. The only way the Celtics will beat the 76ers in game 7 if Jason Tatum stop playing like the sorry sack of trash that he's playing. He is terrible right now, man. And Jason Tatum gets me frustrated. He gets me real frustrated because in the beginning of the season, during the middle of the season, I was saying that Jason Tatum should be finishing the top 3 in the MVP vote. I keep stressing, I like Jason Tatum. He is a superstar in this league. Jason Tatum, he is the next wave. He can be the next Kobe. He can be the next star, the next face in this league. But Jason Tatum, man, he's just like Jordan Jumper against the Jazz, man. Game 5. Fade away. He just keep fading though. way, yo. And it's just sorry, yes.
Is that like a personal attack or something?
It is. Jason Tatum, man, to a guy that finished fourth in the MVP race, I would have thought you would have a better playoff series, a better playoff run than what you are having now, man. I swear. The only way the Celtics most definitely will win this series if Jason Tatum plays to the level that we know that Jason Tatum can play. If Jason Tatum will come out here and not go 1 for 14 all the way into the fourth quarter, Jason Tatum just don't have 3 points in the fourth quarter and have to score all. Now, don't get me wrong. He came in clutch time in Game 6. He showed up when he was supposed to. But in my opinion, Philadelphia gave y'all that game. If Embiid would play with more control and would have played with more better pace, with a better pace, we wouldn't be having this conversation right now. We'll be having this conversation about the Celtics is no longer in the playoffs. So y'all got a gift wrap game last game, and hopefully that the Sixers don't give y'all a gift wrap game this game. You feel me? So that's the only way that I think the Celtics just more definitely can get past this series. If Jason Tatum gonna have to play all 4 quarters, he's gonna have to. And if he doesn't play all 4 quarters, mark my word, the 76ers will be in the Eastern Conference Finals. Now, talk about the 76ers. Like I just said, Embiid. If Embiid can take control of this game, because they have nobody on the Celtics can play Embiid. Nobody. Not Al Horford, not Robert Williams, not Grant Williams, not Marcus Smart, not Jason Tatum. Nobody. Nobody on that Celtics bench, that team, that organization can play Joel Embiid. If Joel Embiid can take over this game 7, if he can do that, the Sixers will be in the Eastern Conference Finals. It's all on Joel Embiid. Now, it's not fully 100% on Joel Embiid. It is about 80% on Joel Embiid. It's all the way. Joel Embiid has to put his imprint on this game. He has to. And if he does not put his imprint on this game, it's going to slip away from the Sixers. It will slip away. James Harden have to score 25 plus. Have to. That's there's no ifs, ands, or buts. James Harden have to score 25 points or more. Maxey have to score 20 plus points to win this game. And I hate to say this, PJ Tucker, you cannot hit flatline threes in that corner. You can't be flatline. If you go flatline, and because they're going to leave you open. They don't have no faith in your game and your 3-pointers. If you go flatline, you and Tobias Harris play just like this game, Sixers will slip another game out of their grasp. Another one. So it's just like, it's real simple for these games. It's real simple. It's number 1, Jason Tatum got to play all 4 quarters. Number 2, Joel Embiid going to have to play dominant basketball. And then it's going to come down to which bench, which second star. Is it going to be Jaylen Brown? Is it going to be James Harden? Is it going to be Malcolm Brogdon? Is it going to be Maxey? But somebody other than Tatum and Embiid is going to have to play Robin and have to score 20 plus. Going to have to. That's the only way that either one of these teams is going to win. It's whoever bench can score, and whoever bench can be better than the other team's bench. That's who will win the game. So that's like 2 things: Jason Tatum, bench; Joel Embiid, bench. Plain and simple. Plain and simple, man. And the winner, whoever can have those takes, in my opinion, will go to the Eastern Conference Finals. And I'm going to go ahead and just go on a limb and pick right now. Go ahead and pick. They in Boston. Boston Celtics will be in the Eastern Conference Finals. I'm going to say that right now. I think the 76ers is not going to show up today. I think that The Boston Celtics is going to escape. It won't be a blowout. It won't be a blowout. It won't be too easy. But I do think that Boston will escape. I think Jason Tatum will have a better game this game. And I also believe that Jaylen Brown will have a better game than James Harden. It's just that simple. It's just now that if those two can play to the expectation of everything else has to play right. Marcus Smart, no turnovers in the fourth quarter, especially in the fourth quarter. Malcolm Brogdon should be taking the ball up court and giving it to Tatum or Brown or whoever the hot man at that time. That's what's going to have to come. You're going to have to find. I think you have to play a little bit of zone against Joel Embiid to keep him frustrated and keep him out the paint. If you can keep his 2 feet out the paint majority of the game, I think the Celtics can do it. So I'm going to go ahead and pick the Celtics to win this game, to win game 7. So, Kurt, please don't be hating on me on this episode, Dub. Please. I picked your boys. Now, talk to your boys and let your boys know that I picked them, and y'all need to go ahead and finish this series off. All right. Let's go to the East, the other team in the East, man. The Heat and the Knicks. The Heat, the number 8 team, the 8th seeded team. It's made it to the Eastern Conference Finals. The team that lost to the Atlanta Hawks with the 7th seed in the play-in is now going to the Eastern Conference Finals. I couldn't believe it either. One more thing.
Oh, my God.
Let me just say this, man. The Heat played way different when they got Jimmy Butler. When Jimmy Butler's on the floor, man, the Heat plays completely different. And as long as Jimmy Buckets, can just keep playing at the level that he's playing, man, it doesn't matter which team, Philly or the Boston, I think the Heat can take them. I just really think the Heat is playing so aggressive. They feisty. They ain't scared of whoever's in front of them. They don't care about what seed you was in the playoffs or anything of that nature. They just don't care. As long as they have Jimmy Butler that can end games and most definitely make big plays, the Heat is in it. They believe in it. They got faith in themselves. And also for the Knicks, man, it's not to down the Knicks. It's not to down them, but I think that the Knicks were outplayed by one man. It was just one man, Jimmy Butler. And, give it up to Jalen Brunson. I think Jalen Brunson had a tremendous year. He had tremendous year. He had tremendous playoffs. I told y'all before, I have a newfound respect for Jalen Brunson. Now, the guy two guys on the Knicks that I felt like didn't take that next step, and they just not that guy.
You're not that guy, pal. Trust me. You're not that guy.
R.J. Barrett and Julius Randle. R.J. Barrett, let's start with him. I forgot that this guy was even on the team. I forgot that this guy was even in the league. R.J. Barrett did not show up. He didn't take that next step of being a star in this league. I felt like R.J. Barrett is still lost. Now, couldn't it be that Tibbs system? Could be. Not using them right. It's just not looking too good at all. You feel me? And he just didn't show up, man. He didn't play. He didn't put an imprint on nothing. He didn't do nothing on the offensive end. He didn't do nothing on the defensive end. He was out there doing cardio. That was it. He was just getting his steps in my opinion, man. Julius Randle, from a guy that was most improved a couple of years ago, that a guy that took the Knicks himself to the playoffs, got to the same exact spot that he's in now. He didn't take the extra step either. Julius Randle, when are you going to learn to go right? When are you going to learn? When are you going to learn to stop shooting these crazy ass threes and transitions? You're not Steph. You're not a decent three-point shooter. You're okay. Can you hit it at times? Yes. But for you to keep coming down here and chucking it up, It's not your game. That's not you, my guy. I don't know why you keep doing it, man. What I think Julius Randle should most definitely do is work on his right hand. Tie his left hand behind his back and go to work on his right hand. He has to learn how to drive to his right. He has to learn how to finish with his right. He's going to have to learn how to have better shot selections. Because right now, Julius Randle, man, I see why these New York fans are starting on your poster or saying trade you. You're not you took a step back, man. You took a step back, and you can't be taking those steps back. You just can't be, because Julius Randle, in my opinion, I think you have one more big contract ahead of you. There's going to be one team that still believes in you. I don't think the Knicks is going to give you a big contract, in my opinion. But you got one big contract left in you. And I'm not going to say that you're a super max or a max player, but you have one big contract left. And the New York Knicks right now is almost, in my opinion, saying we're not going to be the guys that's going to give it to you. It's going to be one of them lower teams, maybe, like a Detroit Pistons, San Antonio Spurs, something in that nature that's calling you. Because, like, right now, you just – I'm not going to say you're the reason why, but if you would have played better and it would have been a duo going against the Miami Heat, man, I think they would have took the Knicks – I mean, the Knicks would have took the Heat down. And that's just I just solely believe so. And by you not playing up to your caliber, you not playing up to your caliber, that's why the Knicks are in Cancun now. You know what I mean? It's just you just terrible, man. And you know what I mean? It's just that you are playing.
It's the biggest piece of dog shit.
Plain and simple. Playing like dog shit. Gotta do better. So this offseason, man, I really hope you work on your right, become a better player than what you was in these last 2 seasons, in my opinion. You got to take another step. You're gonna have to go to another level. You're gonna have to dig deep and go deep into that bag. You know what I mean? That's just my opinion on that. All right, let's go to the Knicks. The Nuggets and the Suns. And the Nuggets are in the Western Conference Finals. They beat the Suns 4-2. And my opinion, let me tell you, the Suns, that bench depth is some trash. It is garbage. Throw them away. It's you're gonna have to do better next year. I think once you traded for Kevin Durant, man, it messed your whole depth up. And don't get me wrong, I understand it's Kevin Durant. He's the guy. Anybody probably would trade their majority of their team up just to get Kevin Durant. He's one of the best shooters in the league. You know what I mean? And he's proven that he is a superstar in this league. But I told y'all in many episodes ago that I believe you trading Danny and your whole team just to get one player, it's not a good look. It won't do no help when it's time for your bench to come in and playoff time. It's no good. It's no good. And DeAndre Ayton.
It's the biggest piece of dog shit.
Congratulations. You played yourself.
And that's just pretty much for DeAndre Ayton, man. Get rid of him. If I'm the Suns. Get what you can get out of him and get rid of him. He has to go. He has to be gone. He is one of the worst big men in this league. I don't know what it is about DeAndre Ayton, man, but DeAndre Ayton.
You're not that guy, pal. Trust me. You're not that guy.
Jokic put a clinic on you, my man. Jokic schooled you. Jokic showed you that you should not be in the category of big men. Jokic averaged a triple-double on the whole entire Suns team in 6 games. He averaged a triple-double. Now, I'm not a big Jokic fan. You know what I mean? I'm not. But Jokic put on a clinic. He shows us why he was a 2-time MVP. Why his name should have been mentioned in the MVP race this year. And like I said, I really don't have a lot to say about Jokic other than, man, he's a good skill big man. You know what I mean? And a topic for another day is, where does he rank once his career is over with? You know what I mean? And I say Jokic is he's that guy. You know what I mean? He's showing you that he can be that guy and all. And but the only thing about Jokic in me is just the conditioning. That's the only thing about it. I understand that people would be like, his conditioning. He's with his bad condition. He's over here averaging triple double. Yeah, that's against DeAndre Ayton. He ain't averaged a triple double against the Minnesota Timberwolves, against the Cat, against Rudy Gobert. And I don't like Rudy Gobert. And y'all already know how I kind of feel about the Cat. But he didn't do that against them. So how can we sit here and say that Jokic is, he did that to all the big men? No, he didn't. He only did it to DeAndre Ayton. He knew once DeAndre Ayton came up on him, he knew that it was like, this guy is no match for me. This guy is trash. Get him off of me. Why? This is going to be cakewalk. This is like a walk in the park. All of these everything that I'm saying is pretty much what Jokic was saying in his head, and we seen it. DeAndre Ayton to just get rid of him. I don't know how many times I'm going to have to keep saying it now. I remember I used to be on DeAndre bandwagon. I used to think he was a decent big guy in this league. But as I keep sitting here and just keep looking at his game, he's not. He's not that guy. He is not. He is trash. If I'm the Phoenix Suns, I would be
emotional damage.
I'd be asking to get rid of him right now. Trade him. You got to trade him. But the Suns, in my opinion, they lost because of that depth of that bench. The Nuggets had way better depth. They had a way better team, period. You know what I mean? As a team. The Suns, they only had two players. Chris Paul got hurt, as usual. Every time Chris Paul gets deep into the playoffs, man, he gets hurt. And that's my guy. But I think Chris Paul, Father Time has caught you. I think your time is up, my man. I think you should just go ahead and ride off to the sunset while you still can. You are a top 10 point guard in this league, probably top 5, top 6 in this league. But I just think that it's time for you to go, man. I think that Suns team need to be revamped, need to be kind of retooled a little bit. If you want to keep D-Book and Kevin Durant together, you're going to have to find a way to find some more others. You're going to have to find a way. Cameron Payne, it's not that guy. Lammy Shamet, it's not that guy. Beyond Bambo, it's not that guy. The teams that you put around, to me, it was like a G League team. And no disrespect to anybody that's even G League or on that Suns team, because y'all in the career that I wish I can be in. But as of right now, man, it's just trash. It just no good in my opinion, man. And that's why the Suns most definitely lost this series, man. And shout out to the Nuggets, man, and make it to the Western Conference Finals. Now I'm trying to see, can Jokic be that guy to actually carry his team deeper? Can they go to the finals now? And now that they are in the Western Conference Finals, guess who they will be playing against? Not to keep you in suspicion, it's them LA Lakers, the Los Angeles Lakers, my Lakers, the team that was 0-3 chances of making the playoffs, who was in the 13th and the 12th seed throughout the majority of the season. Them Lakers, LeBron James, Anthony Davis, a.k.a. Street Clothes, a.k.a. new coach in town, Donovan Ham, is now going to the Western Conference Finals to face the Denver Nuggets. Yeah, buddy. Yes, that's exactly what I did when I found out that the Lakers beat the Warriors 4-2 in good fashion, in the same fashion as we whooped that ass in Memphis. You know what I mean? But no disrespect to the Golden State Warriors, man. They was not the same team as they won the championship last year. They dealt with a lot of injuries. They dealt with a lot of inconsistency. They dealt with a lot of players being in and out the lineup due to suspension. They dealt with players fighting each other. They dealt with a lot of adversity coming into the season. It's not to give them no excuses. I'm not giving them no excuses because they was able to make the playoffs. They was able to skip the play-in. They was able to face the Sacramento Kings in the first round, and they was able to beat the Kings in the first round. So, you know what I mean? They had a good season. They had a season that they should not hang their heads low on. I don't think that their dynasty run is over with. Taking a break, yes. And what team? Thank you, Lakers, for letting them have that break. You feel me? But no, on a seriously note, man, I just think that the Warriors was an uphill battle for the Warriors. I think once they got past the Sacramento Kings, it was like, all right, yeah, now let's see what can we do against the Lakers. You know, we undersized a little bit. We don't really have a legitimate big man and anything in that nature, and it was just an uphill battle for the Warriors. But for my Lakers, we had an uphill battle all year, dog. So I don't want to hear nothing about no more uphill battles. Let's talk about these Lakers and how this 20-plus season veteran was able to help lift the Lakers and make it to the Western Conference Finals, man. LeBron came out holding no punches, none at all. When it was game time, man, he was locked in. AD, Mr. Street Clothes. We can almost now give that Street Clothes title to somebody else right now. So I most definitely just think that it was great to see that you was able to finish the season. I mean, able to, number one, like I said, finish the season and put a good playoff run in. Because, man, we needed that playoff run. We most definitely needed that from AD. And AD showed it up on both ends of the floor. Now, AD wasn't all the way consistent. He was not all the way consistent because at times on that offensive end, man, AD was just like, yo, dog, come on, yo, we need you. And then at times we seen when AD hit the floor and was holding himself and all that, we was like, oh, man, hold your breath. He about to be out again. And then, you know, especially when he caught that forearm to the temple, I thought that was it for my man. I thought he was going to be in concussion protocol and all that, but he was able to not be in concussion protocol. So, man, that was a great thing for Anthony Davis. And like I said, it helps the Lakers. When AD is healthy and playing to the full extent, it helps the Lakers out tremendously. Tremendously, you feel me? And it was able to help us get past the Warriors. We was a better team. We was a deeper team. And, man, and speaking of deep, man, shout out to Lonnie Walker, who had never lost no confidence, who was always on DNPs, and it was able to come in and still be professional and still able to drop buckets when he was able to drop buckets when his name was called or when his number was called. You feel me? And that was what the Lakers, that was their advantage over the Warriors, was they was able to call on people off the bench and able to step up and fill in. You know, Dennis Schroeder played one hell of a series against Steph Curry. Now, it's Steph Curry. Steph Curry is going to be Steph Curry. He's going to drop 20-something points every game, if not 30-something points. But for him to go ahead and chase Steph Curry around, him and Vanderbilt was able to, you know, chase him around and able to contain him enough for us to get 4 victories out of that series. Shout out to y'all, man, because that's all it was. It was the others that stepped up and showed that their others was better than the others that was on the Warriors. And that's all it was, because like I said, the Warriors didn't really have no others. After you went past that starting 5, it was like, I don't know now. Who do they have? Who can they rely on for real? You know what I mean? And The Warriors didn't have it, and that was their downfall. And that's always been the Warriors' pedigree, is they always had bench players and always had players that can fill in when it's time to fill in. You feel me? So my Lakers got it. Lakers against the Nuggets, man. And I'm going to go ahead and call it again. Lakers in 6. Yes, I have them beating the Nuggets. I think that this is going to be the battle of the big men between Anthony Davis and Nikola Jokic. And it's also going to come down to who has the better depth, who bench, who others is going to show up. And it's going to be a very exciting series, in my opinion. I think it's going to be very exciting because it's going to go back and forth. Like I said, Lakers in 6. I got it going 6. Lakers 4-2, of course. I'm gonna go ahead and keep talking my ish until otherwise, man. But I just think that's going to be a good matchup. I think it's going to be the Heat and the Celtics in the Eastern Conference Finals, and the Nuggets and the Lakers in the Western Conference Finals. And I believe, I'm going to go ahead and give my prediction. I'm going to give it to y'all now. I believe that we will have a bubble rematch in the finals. I think it's going to be the Miami Heat versus the Los Angeles Lakers again. Bubble rematch. I'm calling it right now. And if it goes, of course, I'm still right with the Lakers. But I think that bubble rematch is bound to happen, man, because I don't think whatever team make it out the East to go against the Heat, I think the Heat can control them. I think the Heat can bully them and show out more. As far as the Lakers and the Nuggets, I just think that me being biased and me looking at this actual Lakers team, man, I think the Lakers had a better team. And I think the Lakers can win it. So I think it's going to be a bubble rematch. You feel me? So make sure y'all comment below and tell me who y'all think. Do y'all think it will be a bubble rematch, or is it going to be somebody else? You feel me? So that's it right there. That is it, man. I appreciate y'all as always for tuning in, and make sure y'all always go tell a friend who can be a friend who can possibly be a friend that MTMO is out here, Doug, and I'm still out here pushing. I'm still out here trying to get to my goals, and one of my goals is trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. You feel me? So make sure you go ahead and tell a friend who can be a friend that go ahead and hit the subscribe button. You feel me? Become one of the subscribers. Make sure you get the notifications every time an episode drop. You know what I mean? So just make sure y'all do that for me, man, and make sure y'all comment below and tell me what y'all think about this episode. Do y'all think that Aaron Rodgers and the Jets can go make a playoff run? Do you think the Bucs was wrong for firing their head coach? And do y'all believe that my bubble prediction for the finals can actually happen? You feel me? So make sure y'all go ahead and y'all do that. Make sure y'all go ahead and follow my other podcast program. You feel me? Make sure y'all go follow At the Bank, a Baltimore Ravens podcast. You feel me? It's just me giving y'all nothing but that Ravens news. So also my Flock Nations out here, man, if you most definitely need your Ravens podcast, man, come over here and follow the guy. It's on the Gryd Network. You feel me? And make sure y'all go. And while I talk about the Gryd Network, man, make sure y'all follow the network. Real dope network with real dope content. You feel me? Not only just At the Bank and MTMO. We got Clutch Sports. We got all what is it? What's my man Barry podcast? All Even podcast. We have Commanders on Demand. We have the Cowboys. Can Fan. So we have really dope shows, man. Come on into the Gryd Network. Dare to be different. Into the Gryd, you feel me? Come on and check us out, man. I guarantee you will not be disappointed, man. And also, while I'm out here shouting out, shout out to my favorite ladies for dropping their 14th episode, man. It's out right now. Locked In Sports. Make sure y'all go follow them. Make sure y'all tune in to their episodes as also, man. And they always giving out that dope content and talking that ish just like me, you feel me? So shout out to Locked In Sports, Lease, Bells, you know what I mean? Keep doing y'all thing. Shout out to my man, Rod Uncensored Podcast and the Rod Uncensored Network, man. Make sure y'all go follow my guy, man. Real comedian, real dope guy. Can talk that sports too. So make sure y'all go follow him. Make sure y'all go follow the Real Talk on the ASAP Network also, man. You know, I'm also on there with my guys Ray, Kenny, and Chris on there Mondays and Thursdays at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, man. Make sure y'all go check us out as we sit there, kick that ish also, man. I love when my guys Kenny and Ray go back and forth. Who else I'm shouting out, man? And like I said, shout out as always was like I just did, man. Shout out to my man Barry, man, for actually putting me onto the Gryd Network, giving me a chance to talk my ish onto that their platform, man. So shout out to them. Shout out to while I'm also here. Merchandise is here. It is there. You feel me? If you looking for your MTMO hats, shirts, coffee mugs, stickers, bumper stickers, anything in that nature, man, make sure y'all go follow the Gryd Network, man. Make sure y'all go onto the Gryd website where you can go in and hit the clothing line, and it'll give you all of the shows that's on there, man. Make sure y'all go support, man. I guarantee you NTMO is on there and At the Bank is on there, man. My stuff is coming soon. I can't wait to show y'all what I got in store for y'all, but just make sure y'all go ahead and check that out. I believe that is everything. No, you know what? How can I do this? How can I not remember this? To all my beautiful mothers out here, man. Happy Mother's Day to y'all, man. To all the people that's struggling like myself, who moms is not here, man. Happily Mother's Day to y'all, man. Because y'all go out here and y'all support. Y'all go out here and encourage. Y'all show love to these ladies, man. Because without these ladies, without our mothers, we will not be here. So happy Mother's Day from MTMO, you feel me? And that's pretty much it, man. I appreciate y'all for joining, man. And always, man, check me out.